Hello everyone! Sorry that I'm whispering, it's nighttime, I don't want to wake people up. So it's not an ASMR video, don't worry, you're in the right place if you want to know how much money I made in my first year investing in the stock market. So after many months of research and trepidation and putting it off, I started investing in the stock market in November 2021, and from that time to February 2022, I set up my portfolio. Just to note, I am not a financial planner, I'm not a professional investor. So if you're looking to invest, make sure you do your own due diligence and research. This is just a descriptive way to document my first year investing. I will update it every year, see how it's traveling. Let's get into it. To start off, and if you're wondering why I'm looking down here, it's because I'm looking at my computer. We have DRUG, which is BetaShares Global Healthcare ETF. I currently hold 125 units. The net average price that I have bought it for is $7.849. I hold a total value of $948.75 of this ETF. So in this time period, I have made a total capital gain of minus $32.36, and I have received $4.32 in dividends. So that means I have a total return of minus $28.04. Next we have ETHI, which is the BetaShares Global Sustainability Leaders ETF. I hold 83 units of this ETF. The average price that I bought this ETF for is $12.711. I have a total value of $957.82 worth of this ETF. I have made a capital gain of minus $117.75. I have made $23.16 in dividends, and for a lot of these I'm doing a reinvestment scheme. So pretty much what that means is instead of getting the dividend sent to my bank account, it's gathered up until it's enough to buy one unit or however many units of the share, and once it's fulfilled that, then it automatically buys those units for you and you don't have to pay a brokerage or anything. It's not available for all of these ETFs, but for the ones that it is available for, I have done the reinvestment. So the total return, so the capital gains minus the dividends for ETHI is $94.59. So the next ETF I have is HACK, which is BetaShares Global Cybersecurity ETF. I have 101 units. The average price that I bought this ETF for is $9.699. The total value I hold of this ETF is $147.39. The capital gains that I have made is $179.25. Well, negative $179.25. This is actually one of my higher paying dividend ETFs. So in dividends, I have made $52.42. So for HACK, I have a total return of $126.83. This next one is my only individual share that I hold in my portfolio. So it is Monash IVF Group. I hold 913 of these. The average price that I've bought them for is $1.003. And it is my only one that I have made a capital gain on this year. So I am up $43.11. It's also one of my higher paying dividend stocks. I've made $54.63 in dividends. Dividends plus the capital gains, I am up $97.74. My next ETF I hold is a Vanguard Australian Property Securities ETF. I hold 11 of these shares. The average cost that I have paid for these shares is $95.962. The current value of my holdings is $896.83. I am down $158.75. It's also quite a high dividend payout. I'm always kind of wondering about whether to sell this off or stop investing in it because the returns haven't been so great, but I've also got to remember I've only been in this for a year, so I probably shouldn't be spooked by the fluctuations. Overall for VAP, I am down $112.40 in total. My next ETF is VTS, which is Vanguard US Total Market ETF. I have 4 of these because they are a little bit more expensive. The total value of my holdings is $1,183.64. I am down $128.98 on this one. Dividends have come in $20.61 altogether. Total returns is negative $108.37. My next and final ETF in my portfolio is QID. This is actually a US ETF, so it is the only international ETF or share that I currently hold. This is an inverse ETF of the NASDAQ 100 and it is inverse times 2. In theory, if the NASDAQ fell by 5%, then QID would go up 10%, so double that in the opposite direction. Likewise, if the NASDAQ 100 went up 5%, then QID would go down 10%. So this is a short, so it is one of those ones where it's only intended that you kind of hold it short term because a lot of people use them just to buy, and once the market drops they immediately sell and take the profit. For me, that's not really what I'm going to do. I'm going to just hold it in case something happens with the market and it goes down. I am then, I've already got the money in there and I can just sell it like that. I don't know though, like one day I was up $200 and maybe I probably should have sold it and then even reinvested it or taken the money or whatever. But I'm always a little bit put off by the tax implications, which, maybe that's something that I should probably grapple with, especially if I am investing in shorts and ETFs or shares that are in a market from another country, and you are taxed more on American shares than if they were in the ASX, which is the Australian market. As it is an American ETF, I have to transfer my Australian dollars into US dollars and then purchase it. So I have 17.5731 units, a value of $559.99. I am down $16.31, made dividends of 80 cents. And then we have currency, so the gain resulting from exchange rate movements within the selected date range. So that is converting it back into Australian dollars. And it's a little bit more given that the US dollar is a bit higher than Australian dollars. So in total, I am up on this one with $20.64. So the final reveal of how much I made in the stock market in my first year investing, my current portfolio value is $6,353.07. I am down $519.29, which is 7.92%. Overall in dividends, I have made $202.29. So the total return I have taking in the capital gains, which in my case capital losses at this time. And the dividends in total, I am down $351.85, which is down 4.72%. So my portfolio being only down 4.72%, I am not too worried about that. I am investing for the long term, so I'm not looking to take the money out straight away. I haven't put in money that I need to use to pay my rent, to pay my bills, to use as my emergency fund, anything like that. Because of reasons, I have not been able to dollar cost average as well this year, but in the future going forward, I hope to be able to put in a certain amount every few months and just keep growing the units that I hold and my overall value of my portfolio. So yeah, it is down 4.72%. I did kind of invest at a time where the market was a little bit up and then it dropped a bit, so that kind of makes sense. But overall, the S&P 500 in 2022, it was down around 18%. I think it was the worst year on record for the S&P 500 and the US market since 2008. So, 18% on average loss versus 4.72%. I'm not too worried about it. I'm in this for the long haul. I'm going to hold these for a long time before I cash them in. So I hope you found this interesting, and I hope you'll come along with me on my journey of seeing how much my portfolio either gains or loses in the future. And if you want to check out some of my other personal finance videos, please check them out. I will link them. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe. I will see you next time, and go to bed.